Guardians baseball tonight against Toronto. All through the month of May, of course, you can use the promo code MAYDAY, M-A-Y-D-A-Y, for 20% off at CLE Clothing Company. Whatever you want to buy. If you're not following them on social media, you should, because that can keep you abreast of all of the goings-on over there, whether it's more retro buzzer merch or things with the word Cleveland on them.
Yeah.
They sell that?
Huh?
They sell stuff like that?
Now they do.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I implored them for a while. I said, look, you guys call yourselves CLE Clothing Company. And for a while, people didn't realize CLE was an acronym.
Oh.
It was the, I got nothing.
Cost lucrative effectiveness.
Cost lucrative effectiveness. That's right. Yeah, they were a prog rock band first in the 70s, and then yeah. So CLEclothingco.com or get into one of their stores, and just when you're up there, in a calm, clear voice, look the clerk in the eye and say, Mayday. And hopefully they'll know what you're talking about. They usually do. I didn't realize that when I only know this because my father-in-law taught my daughter this when we were in Mexico, that it's traditional that you look someone in the eyes when you cheers them.
Oh, really?
Sure.
I didn't know that. So the rest of the trip, of course, every time they would cheers or something, they would do that whole staring at each other.
Yeah.
So then it became a running joke, but I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
I specifically, when I cheers someone, I like to switch it up a little bit, right? I like to keep my social interactions with people exciting, unexpected. So I'll cheers someone, and then as we both go to take a sip, I'll pour it over their head.
Yes.
Yeah.
the
So
only
that way, they go, oh, this guy... There's a reason they call him Captain Fun.
Yes.
Sure, I've got wet hair now. But it's the beginning of, it's going to be a long night with Captain Fun. And
But
so,
then you don't get drunk, which is nice. Every cheers, you're dumping your drink out. So
well, I have to put on a show like I am getting drunk, because then after multiple cheers and more people with wet heads, they go, well, what do you want? He's drunk.
yeah, he's hammering.
Yeah, so it's I like to have it both ways that way. Anyway, Guardians, Blue Jays here at home. And then Monday, they're in Chicago to play the White Sox of Chicago. White Sox we're going to be in Chicago end of the month. And I'm trying to decide if I want to go to the Cubs-White Sox game while we're there. Because...
Somebody should.
Yeah, somebody should. That's right. And so maybe I will. Dave Chappelle has spoken to his attacker, by the way. Whatever you think of Dave Chappelle, this doesn't seem like a surprising development. You know, you think he'd want to talk to the guy. He said he spoke to the guy, 23-year-old Isaiah Lee. If you saw the video of the guy jump up on stage when Chappelle was kind of closing his show at the Hollywood Bowl, saw this guy jump up, try to tackle Dave Chappelle. He was talking about it last night. He was doing a set at the Comedy Store, and was said that he convinced police to allow him to talk to the guy. And he said that he asked him what provoked the attack. He said that he was sharing a story of his grandmother, who was forced out of her neighborhood in Brooklyn due to gentrification. And the attack was meant to draw attention to her plight. Now listen, a lot of people have different reasons for doing things. I don't know how you draw attention to that. If Dave Chappelle had never asked the guy the question, we never would have known. But he said that he tackled Dave Chappelle. See if you can follow the logic. Tackle Dave Chappelle because you want to draw attention to gentrification and the displacement of his grandmother.
Well, Mary's the most recently gentrified member of the show, according to Poundcake.
Big on tackling.
It's a topic on a lot of people's minds. Poundcake attacked Mary last week.
Sure did.
For being, his quote, gentrified. He called her that.
I think I called her a gentrified bitch.
He called her a gentrified bitch.
Bitch is implied. Like, we know that.
We know you said that.
Yeah.
Redundancy is Poundcake's milieu. Listen, whether or not Mary is, she has clearly, over the time we've known her, gotten whiter, more affluent, and younger.
You're
just
right.
like gentrification. So she's a walking example of...
I have become more affluent. I'm learning about electricity. I'm learning about batteries.
I mean, that does nothing for your income. Nevertheless,
I keep thinking affluent means well-spoken.
No, it does not. Nevertheless.
Less affluent.
Nevertheless.
What do you think affluent means?
You are
and I know that it means like wealthy, but I've always thought affluent meant well-spoken, that you had like a nice vocabulary.
You're thinking of fluent.
Yeah, I'm a fluent in language.
I know what fluent means, but affluent, I don't know why I thought it meant like you use fancy words. Like Alan is very affluent, and he is a millionaire, so I guess it works on both ways.
One, I'm not. Two, you are more affluent than you were before.
Yeah, multi-millionaire. Get it right.
Sorry, you're right. Yes, I am.
Mary famously began her journey in a basement apartment. A lot of places will call it a garden apartment.
Yes.
You tell me how many flowers you see around these windows. Garden apartments just sound nice. Basement apartment.
In the boiler room.
Next to the boiler room. Boiler adjacent. Then she goes to the third floor of her apartment building.
In the sky.
In the sky. To a deluxe apartment in the sky. Now, she's living in a house. A full house.
Real
her
house.
boyfriend's full house.
Yep.
And she is well on her way to destroying that house.
I am not.
There's an old Canadian saying, started from the bottom, now we're here. And that's Mary.
Yes.
That's me.
That's right. That's Mary. It goes back to the people who wrote "Oh Canada," I believe, put that in there. It was a discarded verse.
Except mine is started from the boiler, now we're here.
Yes. Still very exciting. You've got your own story. So Kevin Hart, by the way, Jimmy Kimmel got COVID. And so he is staying at home. He's had Mike Birbiglia fill in. And if you haven't seen the clip that he played on his first night there of news anchors making this announcement and just murdering his name, it's very funny. If you're not familiar with Mike Birbiglia, he's a very funny comic, but he's more of like a long storyteller kind of thing. He's like a guy that'll do like one-man shows. And he was Amy Schumer's brother-in-law in Trainwreck, for people who remember that. He's been in things.
He's great.
Yeah, he's very
He's
good.
a great storyteller, great comedian.
But so he's been filling in, and he and Kevin Hart last night were talking about the Chappelle situation.
The Chappelle thing was so scary this
Yeah.
week, right?
Not scary, but all right.
No?
Somebody ran on stage and got their ass whooped. It's not scary. It's not scary.
I feel...
It's one of those things that need to happen, though, right? Like, by the
No.
way, yes.
No!
What do you mean, no?
What do you mean, yes?
Okay, Mike, do you want people to continue to think that they can cross that line and break the barrier of entertainer and...
Oh, no,
and-
we're on the
okay,
same side
so,
of this.
Yeah, that's my point.
There is a momentary
Yes.
confusion.
Well, I don't know how you can get confused there, Mike. Somebody getting their ass whipped sends a message out to other people that was like, I was thinking about doing that, but after
okay.
seeing that, I don't really want
Okay,
to do
we're
that.
saying the same thing.
Yeah, I think Birbiglia thought he meant the attack needed to happen, and Kevin Hart was like, the guy needed to get his ass whipped.
Yeah.
He's correct. But you couldn't have the ass whoop without the guy going on stage. So there you go.
That is true. And I hope that this sets a precedent. You know, the word precedent, boy, has been thrown around a lot lately for much more nefarious reasons than attacking comedians. But I hope this sets a precedent. I hope, just last night, Bill Squire and Mary Santora performed in Tremont, the weekly Bill Squire High and Dry Comedy Hour. And if anyone had tried to attack the stage or approach the stage, I certainly hope that there would have been people given the go-ahead to kick some ass.
Yeah.
I think that this should be well known. I think in addition to telling people, let's say you go to Hilarities for a show, and I hope that any club of any ilk, when they do that announcement, hey, please keep your table talk to a minimum, please turn your cell phones on vibrate, please don't yell at they need to add in there, and we're going to kick your ass if anybody gets up and approaches the stage mid-show. I think there's nothing wrong with that. Want to get your ass kicked? Try this.
Okay.
We'll have security. So most comedy clubs will go from zero security,
To all of it.
no one policing the room, to, a couple of guys sitting up there, like air marshals
Sure.
on airplanes.
You don't know who they are.
Don't know.
Dressed like civilians.
That's right. FAFO. And so they're sitting there, and they're, you might be able to tell who they are because they're sitting there going, ha, ha, ha.
That is a good one.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to think is, now I know the people that are not laughing at my jokes are working.
They're just
so
air
they
marshals.
can't. Yeah, they're just paying attention to the crowd.
Well, they're not going to pay
listening
that
to
many
me.
employees.
Well,
but I mean, they're going to have.
I had that kind of set last night. It's okay.
Oh, did you really? Did you flop?
I didn't flop,
Did you
but it
bomb?
wasn't great.
No?
It was fine. Right, Bill? I mean, it was
Yeah, it was fine.
7
It's like
out of 10,
it's
6
a-
out of 10.
It's a bar show, and
Yeah.
I think, like you said after the show, you went up there with comedy club mentality.
Comedy club headlining mentality.
Yeah,
where I
which
was
is
like
very
a walk
different.
in the park.
Yeah, which is a very different feeling in kind of way you have to approach the set than doing a bar show.
Second, when, it's a free show.
You went up with what? Too much headliner confidence or what?
Not even confidence, just
You go, da-da-da, ladies and gentlemen, Mary Santora, everybody.
you have to approach it differently when you're 10 minutes into a show at a bar that's free that some people didn't even know was happening.
Yeah.
Than when you are the headliner.
A dedicated room where,
Yeah, where
exactly.
the room's hot, ready to go.
Warmed up,
You
they
just-
know I'm going to
yeah.
be there. Like, it's completely different. And I went in with that, like, why aren't they laughing? This always works. And then I'm like, oh, idiot, you're 9 minutes in and you haven't said anything. That's why, but
I
it's fine.
see.
It was still a really fun room. Like, that's a great room for comedy. And the crowd was great. They were laughing at funny things.
Do you
so
go
that's
last
good.
every time, Bill, or do you just host?
I host.
You
so
host.
I warm them up. So I do the
You were killing.
most difficult job is getting a crowd like that in a bar to understand that this is a show. We need you to laugh because there's so many times where they are.
You tell them that? We
just-
need you to laugh?
I just tell them it's a free show, and so let's keep the standards at free show level, and your energy helps feed the performances.
Guys,
So
we
the-
charged you nothing to get in here. Our payment is your laughter.
Right, and it's more. It's not that I'm telling them to laugh. It's that I'm telling them that the more they pay attention, the better the show's going to be.
Gotcha.
Right.
So and that they respond to that, and it's a and
was
that's why I
great.
keep it at about an hour long too, because I'm not trying to take everybody's whole night. I want them to know that like anybody can sit and watch comedy for an hour.
Right.
You don't
And
want too
it's-
much of a good thing.
Right.
Leave them wanting more.
Leave them wanting more, and they come back every week, and it's been going really well there. So yeah, like I like to get them warmed up. I mix in some old stuff with some new stuff. That way, I know I got stuff that's gonna hit. It gives me an opportunity to work on some stuff and rip a few things, and it's a very very fun show. You get all sorts of you get newer comics trying things out. You get some people like, and there's moments when you are working with a comic, like there's this kid, Daniel Myers, who's been doing comedy probably 3 or 4 years now.
More than that. I would say probably closer to 5 or 6.
Okay.
Either way.
So he's been doing it for a while. And he works very hard. And last night he told a joke that I was like, that's like, and he's got some funny jokes. He can get a little in his head, he's got good sets. But this one joke that he told last night, I'm like, that's one of the best jokes I've seen in the scene in a long time.
Yeah.
And I pulled him aside and I was like, cut
Keep
off the end of
working
it.
on that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like just condense that down, leave it at that, and just build off of that because that's a perfect joke. And like seeing him like get to that level where he's written that level of a joke is very makes me feel very good.
Let me give you some money here. It's $1,000, a chance for you to go fund yourself. This ain't free. This is a grand right here. So listen closely and good luck.
The Buzzard wants you to go fund yourself and score $1,000. Enter the nationwide keyword BILLS at WMMS.com. That's BILLS. Enter it now at WMMS.com. And good luck from Buzzard Radio.
Didn't Poundcake go up and do material 1 year at the comedy tour?
Yes.
Yeah. Boy, did he do some material.
It didn't give you the hunger to do it more, Poundcake? Didn't give you the...
Well,
You didn't get the bug?
I enjoy performing and I love going up there, but like I don't know if I'm actually a funny person or if I'm good at telling jokes because there's a difference. There's people that are comedians like you guys can write and make a joke land. Me, I just get up there and be Cody and people seem to laugh. So I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if that's a natural gift or I don't know if people are laughing at me rather than.
I think a laugh is a laugh, man.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy performing. It was more so of I don't think I would be a good comedian because, and that's just it. I haven't practiced enough. I figure I'm already like broken radio. Let me pick a struggle first. Let me,
I'm already broken radio.
because imagine
Yeah.
if I was doing everything I was doing before with my 3 jobs, and then on top of that, being a comedian, I don't know if my heart's in that. So I don't know if I have the bug.
Plus, it takes a lot of work.
It takes a lot of work.
Jokes are not easy to write.
No.
I mean, they come naturally for some of us.
Who?
Are you talking about Mary?
Yes.
Poundcake?
I don't know. Women aren't funny.
Duh.
Oh, man.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine with that.
Hey, the Alan Cox Show After Hours line. Anytime you want to hit us up there, you can. Leave a message. It's 216-986-8903.
Alan, Kelvin can't listen to the podcast from Wednesday. You guys are talking about the original name for the Big Mac, but people were too stupid to pronounce the Arsticat appropriately. I think I'm saying that right. My wife worked at Subway in college, and she said the more people than not would come in and ask for the Italian herb in cheese bread or the Montgomery cheddar in lieu of the Monterey cheddar.
Montgomery?
People are dumb. Love you, bye.
Oh, that's great. Well, Bill was a sandwich artist. Did you have people coming in back in the day and asking for the... that was pre-herb and cheddar, wasn't it?
No, I mean, it was right when they started having the fancier breads.
Right.
So they were doing the breads towards the end of my tenure there. And, yeah, you'd get all sorts of people saying dumb stuff.
Oh, man. I'll tell you what, Montgomery Cheddar is a new character I'm working on.
Montgomery cheddar.
Hello, I remember Dr. Beauregard Talks.
Yes, of course.
His brother. Montgomery Cheddar. Hello, I don't really have anything past the name. It's mostly a wig sketch. Oh, hello.
It's a lot of heavy lifting.
Hey.
And by wig, you mean one of those cheese heads that the Wisconsin fans wear?
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
I'd like to add on to the whole thing where I said women aren't funny. I'd like to say nobody is funny.
Perfect. There you go. That's better. That's better.
Much better.
Humor is the number one way that you effectively flirt. I was reading a thing this morning, and they were
agree
like,
with that.
oh, they talk to people, and they did all these double-blind, single-blind studies, and they're talking to people about what you do. That seems pretty... I don't even know why you need to look into that, but, you
Make
know...
them laugh.
What's
They're
the other
like,
way
if
to
you-
flirt?
Huh?
Yeah, right? I don't know.
Well, I mean... I'm sure in this room, your go-to would be make them laugh.
Yeah.
But I think this was primarily related to guys, because I think guys think that there are a lot of, maybe if they peacock or if they whatever. But they go, no. You got to make them laugh, which is a pretty high confront for some people, because a lot of people aren't funny. Mm-hmm. But if you can just make the person you like laugh, you don't necessarily have to be funny to make them laugh.
Right.
Now you got to be funny.
Timing is everything. So you could say something that isn't that humorous standalone, but if it's said at the right time, right situation, boom, laughter.
Yeah. But you also have to keep that one going, too. That's the tough part. Keep it going.
Like when I came out in my gauchos the other night, and my boyfriend looked me up and down and stopped eating to tell me that I looked like a pirate. That made me laugh very hard, where the sentence, you look like a pirate, not that funny. But when I'm in my gauchos, ready to come eat some pizza, and he just stops mid-bite and says, you look like a pirate.
Yep.
It's going to make me
The
laugh.
striped shirt and the eye patch didn't help.
No, the parrot on my shoulder was a dead giveaway. But
But it's a cockatoo, Brian. But yeah, that's something to look forward to. So, guys, when you're out this weekend and you're out there and, God, who knows? You're probably out there in the clubs, right? You're doing your thing in the clubs and you back some lady up against the wall, and I know it's really loud and she can't hear you being funny. And a club isn't a great place to be funny. But if you can just get
That's why I hate the club.
a couple things in there to make her think that you are humorous, that you got a good head on your shoulders, you know. She'll look past the shiny shirt or the medium t-shirt. She'll look past all that and maybe pay a bit more attention to the laughs you're trying to get her way. You'll get a hot laugh injection.
ew,
It's so stupid.
what's wrong with you?
I don't know. Allergies?
No.
A hot laugh injection is what she's going to want. Not your dumb car anecdotes.
Hot
What is
laugh
that?
injection.
What movie
That makes
is
you
that
laugh.
from? Hot beef injection. What movie is that?
Oh,
from?
I don't know. It's just the phrase is 100 years old. I don't know what it's from, but
Breakfast Club.
is it Breakfast Club?
That's when, yeah, because he's teasing Claire about, like, has she hooked up? And he's like, over the pennies, no bra, past 11 on a school night? And he's like trying to get her to admit that she's had
That's
sex
how
before.
pervasive that is. I've
Yeah.
never seen that movie. But
You've never seen that movie?
No.
It's a good one.
How did you even come of age?
Especially in the 80s.
Well, I didn't see anybody in that movie that I identified with. So I was like,
You
well,
weren't a nerd?
not like that. No. I wasn't a jock.
Your dad didn't put cigarettes out on you?
He did not do that. No. No smokers in my house. No.
You weren't the weird girl brushing her dandruff onto her
you didn't have
paintings?
dandruff?
Ali Sheedy. No, didn't do that. And it all seemed very, very contrived to me, too. Even at the time, I was like, all right, so they're taking, like, I get what they're doing. Didn't interest me.
It's also a movie, I feel like if you see it when you're in high school, you're like, this is dumb. If you see it when you're 12 or 13 in middle school, you're like, that's what high school's going to be like.
That's when I saw it, yeah.
Oh, is that what it was?
I loved that movie, yeah.
Oh, so, and then you got to high school and you're like, this isn't anything like The Breakfast Club, other than
Well,
the detention.
Because I thought I was Claire. We weren't rich. But
Which one
I
was she?
She was like the...
Molly Ringwald?
The popular one, yeah.
Ah.
And I was like, oh my God, I should talk to the weird kids.
And did you?
Yeah.
Oh, so it was good. The Breakfast Club was
Taught you
kind
a
of
nice
a
lesson.
Yeah.
I think that was a lesson of the movie. Talk to people who aren't like you.
I thought it was freeze frame fist pump. Isn't there a thing at the end where
Yeah.
he,
What's his name? Judd
Nelson?
Judd Nelson.
Nelson.
Yeah, yeah. New
He
Jack
does like,
City.
he does like a full on like jump in
almost
the
jumps.
air.
Yeah, his feet come off the ground a little bit.
His feet leave the ground. He was so happy. I'm going to break here. I'll have those Collective Soul tickets for you a little bit later on. If you want to see those guys, they're doing Jacobs Pavilion in July. I'll hook you up for the Rob Zombie Show later on and Willie Nelson's Outlaw Fest.